Yes, people, welcome back to Premsy TV, another episode of Premier League Unpacked. I do apologise. It was meant to come out on a Sunday, but had a few commitments and couldn't really get around to it. So we've had to bring on a special guest for the fuckery and the fuck up. Saeed in the building.
We're here, man. But you need to take them shirts.
We're gonna give him some stick.
Take the shirts
We're gonna give him some stick, Tom. Innit? We're gonna bury United today. I had to put the shirts up here now, just so they're above his head. You get me, Tom? I just had to thought, you know what? Let me just quickly bam.
I like it.
I
like it. You know what though? You gotta give credit to Sid, man. This is a brave week to come. To come down and be on the show. United are out here trying to break records for Martinez. So it's brave to just be here.
United don't turn up.
I was about to say.
I don't know what's going on though. You need to be. I don't know what's this Ralphie Ragnick backing him and all that, bro. This is all bullshit.
No, for me, they can't finish. They can't finish, man. It's nothing to do with Ragnick. These guys just can't finish their dinner.
I just don't understand how United. Yeah, there's something I heard Roy Keane say. Yeah, if you want a manager and you really want him, and you're a big, massive club like United, and you got financial backing, just like you'll pay fucking 75 million for a player like Sancho and don't know whether it's going to work or not. Why don't you go out there and go and get the manager that you want, bro? Money talks, bullshit walks.
No, money talks, but it's different with the manager though. It's you know what I mean, because they have to believe into the project, and also they've got a lot more to lose. A player could just go find another move, but then a manager, it's difficult for them because if they have a kind of a shit reign, then it kind of affect. Yeah, it can affect them in the long run. You know what I'm trying to say? So they're more hesitant. Obviously, family's got to move over. What is Zidane when Oli got sacked? Obviously, he then said, I don't want to move. His wife didn't want to move. So, like I said, that's a problem. But for me, I don't think it's Ralph. It's these players, man. You know what I mean? Like I said to you, they can't finish. And they should have won that game 4-5-0. The first half, we had literally 3 big opportunities and we wasted them all.
How was the expectation, in the United players falling so badly where at the start of the season, man were gassed thinking, Ronaldo's come in, the players are fucking hot. We're going to be competing with City for the title. How's it all of a sudden?
Yeah, because
the players are just dead.
Like, you know what it is, because for me, it's about expectation. When players are expected to they weren't expected to challenge, but they were expected to at least be in and around that kind of, title race or have a say in it at least or compete in it. We haven't competed. We haven't competed. That's the bottom line. We've never been in it. We've never been around it. And that's the bottom line. You know what I mean? Like, we failed massively. And this top 4 race, is only like almost kind of masking the problems at our football club. You know what I mean? If you're being brutally honest, it masks the reality of what's going down. So, like I said to you, top 4 isn't a massive expectation by United. It should be a given. But, we don't deserve it, if I'm being honest with you. The players don't deserve it because you've got to apply yourself, and we haven't applied ourselves, and it's as simple as that, So, from our part, I don't think we deserve it. Obviously, we talk on Arsenal, whatnot.
Let Tom say his piece on United because he loves United. So now you're in the building. He can say his piece because every week we're on here, United's getting it, bro. I'm telling you.
You know what? I don't feel like I don't feel. I mean, I don't know. You can tell me. I don't feel like I go too United. Obviously, I have a little laugh here and there just because of all the years that United was up there and we was down there, but. More time, the stuff I've been saying about United in recent weeks, it's not been coming from a place of hate or nothing. It's just been truly what I see the situation to be. And I said to Prem the last couple of weeks when he was saying he still fancied you to get that top 4 spot, and I was saying, I think the problems at United are so kind of deep and so kind of like systemic and like all over the place within the club. That one, I felt like it was gonna them from getting top 4 this season. But 2, to answer you guys' question about not going out and being able to get a top manager, I think Saeed kind of alluded to it really. Like, I think certain managers, even if United are still one of the biggest, if not biggest clubs on paper, and even if they do think that they go in there and do a good job, I also think that they know that there's a chance that they could go in there and no matter what they do or no matter what mentality they bring, they could come into a situation and get in there and realize, whoa, this is so broken that I can't single-handedly change the trajectory because it's not just a manager. It's also the culture of the players. It's the culture of the club. It's as deep as probably the culture of the fans at this point. And I think certain managers are thinking, like Saeed was saying, it's not worth the risk, because I could go there and get United back to winning ways, and then that's a major check mark on my resume. But if a Zidane or someone goes there and things go bad and go south, like they've seen it go for plenty of other top managers, let's be clear, Mourinho, I know he's had troubled times at other clubs, but he's still a top manager. Van Gaal, top managers that have come in and had some of their worst. I mean, Mourinho actually didn't do that badly, but they've had moments in their resume that aren't positive moments on their resume that have probably made them less employable coming out the other side. So Zidane might look at this and think, is the risk worth the reward? If it comes off and I do well there, then it'll be a good look for me. But it's kind of expected anyway. But if I go in there and it all becomes a mess on the other side and it's a shambles and we don't get top 4 or something like that, then that's a major setback on my resume. People are going to be questioning me as a manager off the back of it. So I think that's a problem that United are going to have to deal with in the coming years, is how do we change those things so that managers and players aren't looking at United like it's a risk to go there. Because even players, if I'm a player now coming into this summer, especially after seeing Ronaldo go in there and seeing United kind of seeming like they was on the ascendancy under Rolly, and then it all kind of unraveled to back where you were a year or two ago. If I'm a big name player and United come in for me this summer, I might seriously be thinking, this could be a bad move for my career. This could stunt my momentum as a 22, 23-year-old. I'd rather go to a Chelsea, a Tottenham, maybe even an Arsenal, maybe not Tottenham, but maybe, Arsenal, they're all in that same boat, but United aren't now in that category of like, I can go there and I'm guaranteed to be able to perform at the level that I know I'm capable of. You're risking going there and getting caught up in some stuff where your level gets dragged down, like it has done for Ronaldo, like it has done for Pogba. Not to give them man no excuses. They're part of the problem, but their level has been pulled down to a point where now man are questioning, like, is Pogba top 5 centre mids in the Premier League? When he first came in, man was saying, is this the best centre mid in the world? You know what I mean?
True.
Now you've been there a couple of years of bad years in a system that's not really working, and man are starting to question if you're even worth the name on the shirt. So
he loves Pogba though.
And I think for me,
he's
with Pogba, I think people haven't valued his qualities and haven't put him in a true light. Whereas I feel like other players, they can have a bad game or have a bad month, and they still, will be analysed in a different way. So that's why I feel like it's not been fair for Pogba. That's the reason for me. I've always said that for me. Other players get out of the buy, but maybe it's just the fact that is poor Pogba, and maybe the lifestyle he lives. People see that as a factor, but it shouldn't be.
But the club need to move differently. This is what I'm trying to say. Look at Chelsea, for example. These men have had like 10 managers in 10 years and had 10 trophies. But
that is the way forward
now.
You
got to think about it. In this day and age, football has changed. This is why, personally, I don't have hope when it comes to Arsenal and this process, because in this game, this day and age, money talks, and it's proven, because the teams that have got the money is the teams that are winning the big.
You say that, but I don't know if that's true. I hear what you're saying, but also United have been spending.
The only exception you'll say is
United.
Leicester that won the league, that didn't have.
No, but what about United, who've been spending some of the most money for the last? Now we're
Yeah,
talking 3, 4, 5 years now. They've been spending more money than nearly anyone.
Because now it's competition of not just United spending money. Because when United were the only team spending money, they were winning.
Yes, but Arteta's doing it the right way, though.
That is fact.
You don't think so?
I agree with that.
The right way, though.
Do you know what it is with Arteta, bro? Personally, I just don't think he's going to be that guy who's going to win us the Premier League. He's going to be that guy who's going to win us the Champions League. As a club, I want to move proactive and move sensible. Do you know, like when you miss out on managers like Guardiola and Klopp and that, because they were there.
But you have to realise where Arsenal are, though.
No, but this is what I'm trying to say. The club's got to improve. The club's got to move on, because we could have got Guardiola. We could have got him for Klopp. We could have got rid of Wenger.
I feel like Arsenal fans think they could have got everyone. Arsenal fans will tell you that we were in for Messi. Man was in for Messi. Man was in for Guardiola. Flipping Neymar wanted to come to Arsenal.
You get me? City fans, yeah, getting a bit too brave now. You get me? I'd grown up on Main Road, dog. I remember man's tears for years. You get me, dog? So don't be giving it the large, yeah. Yeah, he's might be doing well over the last 10 years.
It's
but
true.
Bro, you're still nowhere near us as a club.
Sad walks.
You got him.
As in, sad walks back down Platt Lane back then.
As a team, you're much better in it. You're much better as a team.
It's true.
That's straight facts. But now it's not just like I was saying. Just to get back to it, there was obviously now you're saying United. Obviously, they spend money, but they're not winning because they're competing with Liverpool that are spending money. Obviously, Liverpool spend money wisely, though. You get me? That's the difference. They've got Chelsea that are spending money. They've got City that are fucking pumping money out their ass. You get me, bro? So you got to understand you can understand why United are not winning it all the time.
I mean, you got to spend it well. The main thing is you've got to spend your money wisely. You've got to spend it well. You've got to have a plan. And if you don't have that plan, for me, it's worthless. You go and spend it, 300 million. We've done that for how many years? City have spent $1 billion. We've spent $1 billion, and they've got.
But you say that. But look, Lampard spent 200 mil with Chelsea. Yeah, he got them to a certain point, got sacked. An elite manager came in Tuchel, and he won them the Champions League. That was on the back of them spending that money. They didn't spend that money. They were nowhere near.
The problem is though, is the thing. I get what you mean, but also Chelsea's a club that just sacks managers anyway.
Yeah,
Arsenal are a club that, look at that, man. They gave Emery, they sacked Emery, but now I think they're looking at thinking, oh yeah, we got the Emery thing wrong. Arsenal comes in, young upcoming manager, and they're thinking, let's just give him time. But he's different to Ollie in the sense that he is good tactically. He is like, he knows football.
But you know what I don't get with Arsenal? Look, this is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we're thinking, young manager, get him in, young players, get time, 5, 6 years.
It's a project.
No, it's a project. But this is the problem. Why can't we as a club change our projects? Our projects
or put more money into the project.
Because it's not like Stan Kroenke's got no P's. He's got Look at the Super Bowl man's doing. When you got Eminem and Dr. Dre and all them, man, and you probably have to put a little bit of money into that. That's not cheap, innit? Do you know what I'm trying?
No, it's true.
This guy is not like he's not a billionaire. This guy's a billionaire. Realistically, he really wanted to pump 200-300 million. Obviously, in this day and age, you have to spend that wisely because even that's not that much in this day and age. But it can be done. You can buy a few players, 35 mil, some of decent stature, decent
that
quality.
Vlahovic, you should have got that Vlahovic.
But exactly, but again,
that would have been the kind of the biggest momentum shifter if you'd have got.
I would have loved to get him, but at the end of the day, it's just shame on us because if my man ain't looking to come to you, go and move on to someone else, innit? Like if you don't be just there to just take the licks. My man saying, nah, you're going back to him, and he keeps licking you. I ain't looking to come with you. And then and then you drag it out or window. Then it just becomes
just heartbroken, just hopeful and heartbroken.
And this is what I'm saying. Our biggest problem was not signing someone in January, a striker. Because look, even that game against Wolves, going on to Arsenal, bro. Like obviously, man's been so busy. I couldn't even do no match reactions. I've not really done much, to be fair. So people that are watching, if you was waiting for it, I do apologize. It will be coming shortly on the next.
Tell him, man, you need to be more consistent.
Oh, man's busy. You get me? This YouTube thing don't pay me.
Nah, soon come.
It's one of them, innit? Like just with the Arsenal and the Wolves game going on to it.
You know what? That's a big win, man. You got to look credit Arsenal because that would have not happened. And your record now, the outside of top 6, is one of the best in the league.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, it's crazy. I'm happy with the position that we're in, but
I'm saying about like the win is like it's key.
Arsenal, I was speaking to one of my boys, Arsenal, man, they give man PTSD. You get me? And
it's like United. They give you hope and then they knock you down.
Exactly, bro. They're consistently inconsistent, and it's been like that, bro. But it's been like this for years. Like, man, thinking right, he's not won the Premier League for so long. We've not won it for time. 2004. You get me?
Of course.
Like, this is a problem that goes deep. Now, why can't we decide to just? I don't disagree with bringing the youth players through, like Saka and Smith Rowe and stuff like that. But why can't we go out and spend a 50, 60 mil here and there, like in the same window on certain players? And I'm not talking about Ben White that we think, it's possible he's going to come good. I'm talking about like renowned players. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Certified.
Like, so would you have took Ronaldo then?
Nah, fuck
that's
Ronaldo.
What I'm trying to say.
Nah, but
so that they want to plan it. They want to plan.
But it's not. But anyone can say that, though, innit? Like realistically, most people would say right, Ronaldo. But to be funny enough, Ronaldo probably would fit in our system better than he does in United.
But I think
funny
that's
enough,
the thing, though, but
because that's all these men do is get the ball and lick it in the box.
They want to do that.
know
though. They want to profile a player and look at the Samuel Congo now at 19. If you're looking at Saka, Smith Rowe, they're all young. Gabriel, they want a promising team. And it's similar to like Dortmund. Dortmund have a young team.
I mean? See me say, do you know who my dream forward would be to sign? I know people might think, oh, they want Haaland and that. But if we put all our eggs in the basket, give Lewandowski a bad boy wage, brought him in, he's obviously
a
new
challenger. They will never do that, though.
No, I know, but this is what I'm saying. If we got to the Champions League, and you never know, Bayern might, this year, they're not being so great. They might want to, chop and change. And if you can get somebody like a Lewandowski over, but this is the problem when it comes to Arteta. He's a manager that can never get a player like him.
Yeah.
Best believe that.
You say that, but I was just about to ask you, well, two things. One, I was going to ask you, do you think that if Arteta gets top 4 this season, that they'll loosen the reins a little bit and say, here you go, here's some dough to spend in someone?
They've given money,
I'm talking about what you're saying in terms of like, we're not giving you money for kind of like quote unquote safe signings. We're giving you money to like go out and try and really like pick someone and throw the dough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then the second thing I was going to ask you, just in kind of conjunction with that, is do you think that for Lewandowski, is the pulling power to bring a Lewandowski? Is it I'm in the Champions League? Is it where like we might be winning things, or at this point in his career, is it that we're in the Champions League, we could be competing, but that there's, we keep using the word project, but there's a project over there that I like the feel of. You know what I mean? Whether that's because I think it's promising, whether that's because I like how the manager plays, or whether that's just because I don't think it looks toxic and I think it looks like it's a place I can go and be confident that I'm going to be able to do my thing. Arsenal are starting to move themselves out maybe of that toxic conversation, where you might start to look at an Arteta and think, maybe things over there look like they're not so unpredictable. Maybe that's jumping the gun a little bit, but people are probably going to be if you get top 4, I think some players will start to look at Arsenal and think that looks like a more of a steady bet than a United. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know you mean.
Maybe.
Do you think, like, go on. Oh, so we're just watching. I got the Middlesbrough and Tottenham game on up as well, and obviously
hoping that Tottenham don't win a trophy.
I was hoping Middlesbrough Balogun's on. You get me, the Gooner boy. You get me. Hopefully, he puts one in, puts these man to bed in it. You get me. But yeah, man. Like when it comes to Arteta, let me ask you a question. Yeah, both of you.
He's asked you a question there.
Go on.
Sorry, I asked you 2 questions and I blurred it up. The first question to either of you was: Do you think that if you get top 4 this season, they'll give him more money than we've seen so far to spend? Like, do you think we'll see him go out and buy a 30 player for big dough, spend a 70 mil and 80 mil on a player?
Yeah, I think they'll give him some money to spend, because I think they have given money to spend in it, and I think they were going after Vlahovic, and I think they would have put the money on the table. So I'm not saying that they're not, obviously they're doing this just off late after the Super League, after the pressures come on. That's when they've started to release a little bit of funds. Yet they're taking loans against Arsenal anyway in regards to do some of this shit. So it's not like they're putting their hands in their pocket, the Cronkies, and throwing money at the club. But it's hard for me because I am just a realist, Tom. Does that make sense? Like, even if Arteta does get the money and he brings the players in, I personally don't feel like he's got that experience just yet to win us a Premier League title. He hasn't got that grind in him. If you hear his interviews, he's come out and said, right, I've made mistakes on the job and I'm learning on the job and stuff like that, bro. You tell me, bro, 5 years ago, when or 10 years ago, Arsene Wenger, Fergie, and then man were in the league, you say, right, in a couple of years, someone's going to take over, with absolutely no experience whatsoever. You get me? I'd laugh at you, bro. Like, this is a massive organization. It can't just be run on a hunch. You know what I mean? Like, I think this guy's a good guy. Like, I'm like just asking you both now. Do you think Arteta's going to win Arsenal the Premier League within the next 5 years? Honestly,
no, because I just don't think Arsenal are in that capability of winning it for the next 5 years, though.
Do I think Pep will still be in the Premier in the next 5 years?
I think he will.
I don't know. Because if he is, then that already puts that. Because if he is, then
he will. I think he will. I think he want to dominate.
No,
if he signs Who?
I'm saying Arteta. Do you think he will win Arsenal the Premier League within 5 years?
No.
Do you?
No.
Exactly. So do you understand my point? You get me?
Like, City are just too dominant. City are just too dominant at the minute.
Yeah, but if we're challenging, like I said before, with 5 points off, with 5 points
off.
Yeah,
I think you could challenge under him. Maybe I think you could have a season where, like, did under Emery,
you can challenge. Then I'm willing to let him to give him that go in it. If he, because I've not got an Arteta vendetta. I just personally believe that this guy ain't gonna win man the title, and we've not won the title for a very long time, and that's something I want. You get me? I want to win the Champions League, bro. And
I hear that.
But you know what? The thing is, let me kind of rebuttal that. I think for me, like if I'm looking at United now, unless the structure changes, I don't think we'll win a title for the next 5 years. So then I ask that question. So how does that kind of compare to yours when you think, you know, that Arteta's not the right manager, but then they're thinking it's a project?
But the problem is with both of our clubs is our owners are both fucked. You get me? We're never going to get the best out of them. So the only way we're going to see success is by having a top manager that's running a good football team who knows what he's doing.
Yeah, of course.
That's the only way we're going to get success, bro. And realistically, that is actual fact.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Because these man behind, they're not asked, bro. When does your owners and our owners come to any games? When are they invested their time in the club? Not happening at all.
Edu comes, but he gets told to.
So you need a manager, like say somebody that's got the passion of a Simeone that will come in and like he's just got raw passion. You get me? And he will want to make that his own team. There's a few managers like that that's out there that would do that.
Of course.
Like even Brendan Rodgers is another one that's like that.
Of course. But again, it's all about project and how do Arsenal see themselves. If there's a progression, if you get top 4 now,
if we get the top 4, for me, obviously we've it's progression and we've overachieved for this season's target. Because as a fan, like I said, man gets let down so much. There was no way that I thought that was going to be the case, that we were even going to get top 4.
There you go.
Does that make sense? First 3 games of the season, bro. It was a mad thing, bro. Man thought, what?
There you go.
That's what man was speaking about on Sky Sports. Arsenal in a relegation scrap and that. Like this is mad. Obviously, I know it gets a bit dramatic because Arsenal's fan base is a bit mad. Like because we love our club and we've not seen us win the title since 2004. So man are going to be pissed off. Man are going to be angry.
Of course.
You get me? And that's just natural. If you're not, bro, then I don't really know where your passion and your desire is. You get me? Because man always wants to be at the top. Obviously, you're realistic with it.
Yeah, it's true. No, I just was gonna say, you know what? I don't know if it's always the best thing, but I often, like, when I look at like a United or Arsenal or any of these clubs that are trying to like rebuild back to having not only like a title win or a title challenge, but probably ideally Arsenal fan, United fan, if you're really getting into your kind of like just dreaming back, you want to get back to like we're having a period of domination. You know what I mean? We're having a period of getting a 5-6, you know, 5-6 trophies in 8-9 years kind of bag, where you can kind of fill up the cabinet a little bit. You're not just wanting a situation, you're wanting to get up there and try and hold yourself up there for a bit and compete. So when I look at what it took for City to get there, like I say, I don't know if it's the right thing, but I often look at the trajectory that City took and try and because it was in my lifetime and I got to see it. I kind of got to see it close enough to see certain things and wonder whether that's how it has to be for other clubs. So in terms of kind of quote unquote the process or, you know, things taking time, I always just go back to the fact that with City, you know, it took X amount of seasons for us to break like the UEFA Cup barrier. You know, we had Sven-Göran Eriksson, a man like that touching distance of us getting in the UEFA Cup. And last game of the season, we lost on penalties to Middlesbrough and didn't quite make it. And
that's true. That's true.
Or lost a penalty to, and then you know, a couple of seasons later, it was breaking that top 4 barrier, and we had that season where one of the last games near the end of the season, we had a big game against Tottenham, and it was between the top 4, and they beat us at the Etihad, and they got the top 4 by like a point or something, and then we broke that top 4, and each time that happened, when we broke, you know, the UEFA Cup, and then we broke the top 4, it wasn't just about getting into the top 4 and getting into the Champions League. Each time it kind of provided a platform where, oftentimes, like when we got from UEFA Cup to getting closer to the Champions League was when the new owners came in. Then when we got into kind of top 4, we started attracting slightly better managers. We went from a Mark Hughes to a Mancini. Do you know what I mean? Then a Mancini comes in. Now we get a we get a title, or we get a title contest, and we get a first trophy, and then off the back of that we get more money invested, and then we get a Pellegrini, and then by the time a Pep Guardiola looks at City and says,
Tom, but the difference is the difference.
Go on,
The difference is though you can't compare City at that stage.
No. I understand. I understand that. I understand that. You can subtract the first part of that conversation because you guys were already established at a certain level, but the second part of the conversation in terms of getting into the top 4 to be able to attract managers and players that are going to come and play in the top 4. Then from the top 4, getting into a point where we're there and thereabouts, second, nearly came first. And then when that got to the point where then a manager like a Pep Guardiola, who at that point is already one of the best, if not the best managers in the world, looks at that project or that club and says, right, they're already there and thereabouts. The team isn't my team and it's not quite there, but it's not too far off. There's components that I could use. There's aspects of what's going on over there where I can come in and be confident that if I put my footprint on this in 2 or 3 years, I can be dominating. To get these top managers, you could get a top manager that comes in and says, I want to take a club that finished 8th last year and be the guy that's going to get them all the way to winning the Champions League. But more time it might take an Arteta to get you in the top 4. And then maybe he manages another season of staying in the top 4, and then he goes out the door. And now a Simeone says, you know what? Now I will go to Arsenal. They're looking like they're consistently in the Champions League. And maybe Simeone comes in and don't win the league, but he gets you back to where now Arsenal are the top 2 teams competing. And then whoever's the top guy in the world then says, right, I'm coming to. And it has to be like that. It can't be.
Not really, bro. Because if you actually look at it, check it, Tom. If you actually look at the player, and now this is true. Great managers, they come into teams, and they strip that whole team down. So when Pep Guardiola come into Manchester City, bro, after the second season in, you see how many players he's got rid of and how many players he's brought in.
Nah, but core guys were still there. We still had a company. We still had Yaya. We still had a Silva. We still had an Aguero. There was still a spine of a Champions League, Premier League winning team.
What I'm saying, bro, they come in and regardless of what, they put their own stamp on the team.
I'm not questioning that.
Look at Klopp. He came into Liverpool. Ripped everyone out. You get me?
Yeah.
Everyone's new. Like great managers do that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Look at Conte. Conte, that's why he wants money. He brings in, gets rid of the players he wants, and brings in more or less the players that he wants, and he brings in a lot of them. That's what they do. Look at Guardiola over the.
I agree with you.
There, the amount is thingy, so it can be the case where a manager will look at it and think, Ras, Arsenal are the 3rd most biggest club in the whole of England, bro. It's not like obviously we haven't won loads of shit in the last. Since 2004, major trophies, but we only won an FA Cup a couple of years ago. You get me? It's not like we're Tottenham, bro. It's not like we won a cup sooner than what United have. They've not won a trophy longer than what we have. And it's not like we're broke. It's not like we've got no money. The problem is if a good manager come there and look, right, you know what, that situation, I can go there and I can be in full control of that and manage that and pattern that up. What a good top manager will do will bring not only a good structure and a solid structure, he'll be able to attract certain players that will give you that push where a novice manager will not be able to do.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. What I'm saying is for you to attract that top manager, I think personally that it's naive as an Arsenal fan to think that top manager is going to come in before they can at least see that, like, okay, the current Arsenal team, system, project, whatever you want to call it, has established themselves as a top 4 club, let's say.
So how did Tottenham get Conte then, bro?
I think it's a bit different with Conte, and I think maybe Arsenal could have got Conte. I think it's a bit different with Conte because he's a bit of a journeyman who goes and wins trophies at places and then he's on to the next one. And he's a bit like Ancelotti. How did Everton get Ancelotti? That's a guy who's won the champ. Oh my God.
The game's got off for us.
Oh, lad, Borough just back. 1-0 Borough.
Yes! Don't lie.
16 minutes in, I swear to God. It's an absolute screamer. He's ripped the corner of the net.
What's going on here with the Virgin, yo? This is on a fuckery, this, bro.
The BBC or Virgin, something's happening. Sorry, guys, we've interrupted the stream for some live updates. It was an amazing finish. It's by the substitute as well. Let me see who it was that scored it. I don't know the Middlesbrough squad that well, but it's a lad that's come on off the bench.
He's pulling man's leg.
What's his name? Something. Oh, I can't see his name. It's a great move.
Yeah,
flicked it inside, and is he off? Is he off? I'm going to VAR. Anyway, sorry, Conte. I'll let you know if we get an update in the background. But I think Conte kind of in the Ancelotti conversation where it's like, he's won major things, but he's he's kind of bouncing around a little bit. So maybe he's in that conversation. But Simeone, someone that's been at a stable club for a while already, I don't think they're just going somewhere where they feel like there's potential, but it could also go south. They want something that's a bit nearer to, like you said, they're going to come put their stamp on. But like I said, Pep could at least look at City and say there's a good spine there. There's 4 or 5 guys that are some of the best players in the world in their position that can fit into my system. Aguero was there,
at the
Company
time,
was there,
Joe Hart
Silva was there.
Top keeper, and he stripped him out of the team, and everyone couldn't believe it at the time.
Yeah, I'm not saying top managers won't take. I'm not saying that top managers won't remove some players, but it can't be questioned that he came in and seeing that we had Company, Silva, Aguero, was Yaya there before he came? But there was players in there that became fundamental players in his system for the years coming. So it wasn't like he looked at that team and said, "There's nothing here. I have to do a full reset." And I'm not saying that a manager would say that about Arsenal, because Saka could be in a Champions League winning team.
If we obviously, I haven't really know it up by hand, but I know I looked at it not so long ago, but I was seeing how many players Guardiola brought in within his first first 2.5 seasons, bro. That's more or less a brand new squad. Trust me, bro. Like, if you search it, you'll see. You get me. And this is what I'm trying to say.
Can I just say something?
Managers come in and they rip
it's all about Arsenal and what they want, and I feel like what they want and what Tottenham want. At least now, I think the owners have established what they want. They want a long-term manager. They want someone who can lead this project. You know what I mean?
But what evidence have they got that this is going to work with Arteta?
What evidence has it got? Have you got that? You know,
but all right. Say if they went to Brendan Rodgers,
yeah.
I'll say the evidence he's got is he's won the Celtic. He's won the fucking Scottish Cup, Scottish League, Scottish Cup with Celtic. He's won the FA Cup now with Leicester. You get me? He's got more
pedigree.
Than Arteta. There's loads of managers out there that got more pedigree than Arteta. So what has given them so much hope in this guy?
Because they just think
when he's finished 8th twice.
Because they think that they want to believe in a new project that is long term and is sustainable, and I think that's what they're looking at. And now they've and if it works after this 2 years and they get top 4, then the project has banged.
Can I just while I've got you there, these are some of the players that were in Pellegrini's team before Guardiola came in. Vincent Kompany was already there. Raheem Sterling was already there. Sergio Aguero was already there. Kevin De Bruyne, I nearly said Jesus Navas. Kevin De Bruyne was already there. David Silva was already there. Fernandinho was already there. Yaya Toure was already there. That's 6-7 of some of the most crucial and important players that City have had in the last 7 years following. I'm not saying he hasn't then brought another in that time to go around them, but we're talking about probably, if I'm giving you the top 5-6 players ever at City, never mind in the last 10 years, most of them are on that list that were already there before Pep came in. I don't know if as an Arsenal fan you can feel like when you envisage Arsenal's Champions League winning team 3 years now, how many man in it? If you envisage Arsenal in 3 years' time, 4 years' time, competing for the Champions League, how many man in this current team do you envisage being in a Champions League winning team?
True.
In 3 years.
Let me know. In 3 years' time from now, how many of these men do you think could be of that caliber where you're saying, yo, these are some of the best Arsenal players?
Well, obviously, well, if you think about it, our team is average the youngest in the Premier League. So I'm thinking maybe about 5-6 years, maybe, bro. And if you don't think that's true, if you go back and look at Liverpool's team over the last 3-4 years, see how many players are in there, exactly the same players. And when you talk about Man City might having 6 players, 7 players that might be key players, bro. It takes 22 to 25 man to make a squad. The difference that City have is every single player that's on their team is more or less world class in 2 positions.
No, I agree.
And that's what that manager's done. If he had them 7 players, with normal average players, he won't be doing what he does.
Let's be clear. I'm not trying to say that Pep and the money he spent hasn't been the difference between what City were and what City have become. Pep is, in my opinion, the greatest manager of all time. Obviously, I'm biased as a City fan. And I think that what he's done at City is all his making. I'm not trying to contest that. What I'm saying is if those 6-7 players aren't there already and Pep doesn't see them as a platform to build this incredible thing off, I'm not convinced that he still thinks, that's the place for me to go. If he has to build that from scratch with none of those components there. Saeed, I feel like we're boxing you out the combo. Go on.
No. I feel like it's just, you have to have the structure to win though. Man, you have a structure to win. Arsenal don't have a structure to win. And that you know what I mean. So Man City have the CEOs. They have a know-how how to win, Arsenal don't have that. So that's why you can't really be looking at winning the title anytime soon. It has to be a slow, a steady progression. City's aim was to dominate. Arsenal aim isn't to dominate. They've dominated before. Now it's on the road to recovery to kind of dominate, and that's
but that's just come straight down to the owners, isn't it? But
there you go. Then,
but what I'm saying is there's situation there. No, but there's situations out there where, say, if there's people within the club like Edu, who was in the Invincibles team, who's meant to care about the club. It's for them to then think, you know what, deep down, this owner's an absolute wank stain. He doesn't give a fuck about the club, big man thing, he's a wank stain. Don't give a fuck about the club. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best to go and get a manager out there that I can know that he's not asked if the owner's on him or not, or if it's funding him or not. He just wants to be the best. You get me?
Of course.
And if that means lining his pocket with an extra 5 mil, you do that, bro, because you're spending 50 odd million on Ben White and all that. You get me? You're telling me you can't pattern fucking a top manager off. I'm telling you, Tom, Conte gone to Tottenham. They ain't won shit in years, bro.
And what's he going to win now if they go out? You know what I mean? But
what I mean? But the one thing I wanted to move on, Saeed, the big talking point.
VAR.
Yeah.
I've
Riley apologising.
I apologise. Like I said to you, no surprise there. But for me, I've always said it for me. I don't really like VAR because at the end of the day, people can say, well, it's the people behind using it, but they don't. Do they not all interlink? The people using it, the people putting it on, the people behind it. Like I said to you, they're all linked into one. The problem is, I'm not going to say, like VAR, etc., is not here to stay, because it is here to stay. But the problem is, though, you're never ever going to get that to that level where you can say, right, how can we improve it? When the people using it are the ones that are making it bad. It's not VAR, it's the people behind using VAR. And until the standard of refereeing changes, VAR will still be what it is. It will still be continuing to be what it is. Inconsistent. For me, you're relying on computers. You're relying on it's not football anymore. You can't celebrate, can you? Nah. When you're in the ground, you can't celebrate.
You know what's going on, and like looking at the board.
There you go.
Exactly. They don't even show you.
And also, look at the Chelsea incident. Obviously, we'll talk about City, but Chelsea incident was what, hand? How can you hand? There should be benefit of doubt. Where's the benefit of doubt gone?
I know. I used to like the daylight. I used to like daylight for offside. Do you remember that? But there had to be daylight between the striker and the defender. You had to be a gap. Like your leg could just be back there and it's still counting.
There you go.
If we had that today, mate, it would be 14-0 every week or 14-15. Already high scoring.
These people running it though, Tom. Obviously, these are human beings that support certain teams. Yeah. You get me? I'm an Arsenal fan. If I'm on that VAR and there's a penalty for Arsenal, bam. Yeah, I'm giving that 100%.
Football becomes computerized, isn't it? You want football to be computerized. It's human error for me. I don't know about you guys here, but I'd rather have human error than computerized football.
But VAR is like computers, it more or less is computerized.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, but you just said it was. But you just said that the error is by the humans using it, so it's still human error. It's just human error. It's just worse human error because man have had time to look at it and still made the error. That's like cheating in an exam and still getting it wrong. It's like Googling in a question in an exam and still getting it wrong.
That's what I'm trying to say. So at the end of the day, for me, like I said, that Rodrigo was an absolute joke.
Yeah, it was a bad one.
Like I said to you, they said offside and whatnot.
These men are trying to get Everton relegated.
But what do you think? What do you actually think the ref? What do you think the guys in the VAR place are thinking with that one when they've said?
But they didn't analyze it though. They didn't analyze it. They never analyzed.
But they didn't even look at it.
They didn't look at it.
It's a quick one, innit?
It's a quick one, and that's the problem. If the referee says, I think that's not a penalty, then he doesn't need to go to VAR.
It seems like there's a bit too... That's one thing that I don't really get with the VAR. It feels like they're so worried about like undermining the referees that they've added all these weird little rules where it's like, if the ref gives something, for us to overturn it, it has to be some clear and obvious, or for the... Bro, if you've got technology, just in life in general, if someone else has got some technology where they can see some stuff clear as day, and I'm having to just make a split-second judgment with not a good angle, I want man to be able to tell me if I've got it wrong. In what situation do I want to just be left to be wrong without just because you don't want to undermine me? In what situation does the referee go home and think, you know what, I had a howler with that one there, but I'm glad they didn't tell me in the moment. I'm glad they just let the game carry on, and now the howler is actually cement. Like the VAR should be there to save the ref.
They need to come out and do interviews. They need to grab the fucking ref by the scruff of the neck every game, put him on the end and interview him and say to him, "Right, explain your fuckery."
But that one's a VAR one, because as a ref, you can see how the ref could have got that one wrong, potentially. The way it skidded up off the surface was so unnatural and the movement was unnatural that depending on where the ref's at, there might have been a scenario where he thinks that it's hit him a bit higher up the arm, it's hit him on the chest, whatever it might be. The guys in the VAR studio, why are they? What they just need to have Sky Sports playing, because Sky Sports showed the highlights about 3 times.
But then that's the
They
problem.
should at least have one screen with Gary Neville on it or something, because the pundits knew it was a penalty.
But if they find out that, then it becomes biased, because then it's like you're using secondary sources to kind of make these
Sky
judgments.
Sports to influence him, man.
Nah, but these referees are staff, bro. These referees are shit. That's why these man don't get jobs in in the Euros and all of that, bro. You get me?
There you go.
True. These are like Sunday League level referees, man. Go that big man thing. You're not seeing Moss on that. He looks like he's down the pint, going down having a pint of chips.
Do you think we might need more roadman reffing? To be fair, you know, get more man off the roads into reffing.
Different vibe, innit? Man out on the pitch and that, these players are coming up, man, and that.
Listen, if they want football to be like rugby, where the players don't moan to the ref, they need to get a different type of person in there. Referee.
Just imagine you're a ref, Tom, and you're dealing with Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Come on.
And he tries to get up in your face shouting at you.
You know what I mean? What? He's gonna get
flicking
slapped
on his forehead like that.
He's gonna get slapped. Yeah, what do you think of Bielsa got sacked by Leeds this week?
Bro, it had to happen for me.
It's too open, isn't it?
You know what it is? It's too open, and it's not just it's a normal guy, man. You know, he comes out of prison. You know what I mean? He goes back in. That's what Bielsa is. You know what I mean? He just didn't learn. It's almost as if he was he was happy to get arrested, then come back in. You know what I mean? He just never ever
institutionalized.
Yeah.
And
you know, rightly so for me. He got them to where he needed to get them to, and for me, like I said, he's done his bit. And sometimes you just got to say to yourself, you know what? You're being found out, and obviously injuries did not help him at all. But you know, it's too open, man. Come on, man.
My question to you as a United fan, you're probably better placed to answer this than most. Ooh, that was close.
Is that 1-0 though, Tom?
One minute. Yeah, sorry, we've got 15 seconds left of extra time, and it's still.
It is 1-0, so they didn't chalk it up.
No, it's 1-0. Tottenham just had hit the post, or I don't know if hit the post, or it was it might have been a great save actually by the Middlesbrough keeper. But we literally got a second left of extra time, and there's a corner for Tottenham. Go on, I'll give you the live commentary now. Son's about to look. This is like old school, radio days, isn't it?
Bro. They had to. People want to hear the news, innit? So
people want to hear the news and that, man. Trying to watch football and these.
Bro, they'll never do that.
Man. I think that might be it. Oh,
go on, ask your question to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think, as a United fan, look, United fans were saying Ollie needs to go before we went, and a lot of United fans, even as bad as it is now, would still tell you that Ollie needed to go. But do you think, in terms of this season, the result of sacking Ollie when you did mid-season, kind of maybe not with the best plans in place, just kind of going off form and just this guy can't stay any longer. God, I'm trying not to react to the TV, but Balogun just broke free at the other end and nearly bugged. Do you think that in terms of this season, United have been negatively impacted by making that decision mid-season? And if you do you not worry for Leeds that sacking Bielsa might be the thing, that the nail in the coffin that sends you down, because that could destabilize you even more?
Jesse Marsch has been sacked by Leipzig. It's a big risk, you know. But for me, though, you have to have that opportunity of staying up, and Leeds have got that. They had to change something. It's different when it's relegation, isn't it? Because you get a different set of beliefs. You're more compact. I just don't think Jesse Marsch can make them any more worse defensively than Bielsa did. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
now, Bielsa's open book, innit?
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So, end of the day, it's like, yo, man. I mean,
Bielsa was like the judge on the block. Just open your legs, let everyone in.
Open, you know what I mean? Open season.
We're gonna get cancelled, bro.
As respectful it is.
Don't know the slang. Hopefully.
You know what I mean? Like, I've just got a tweet out there.
You
check that.
Oh man.
Conte. Do you know what it is with Conte? He's not being backed. Like the guy's got rid of 4 players and brought.
Bro,
in
you know what it is, yeah. It's as simple as that, yeah. Tottenham
Shouldn't be losing to Borough though.
Bro. Tottenham are just that team,
Yeah,
mate.
they're
They're never ever gonna win anything.
They ruin man's careers and that.
That's
You
what I'm saying.
there,
Expressions, man. Depressions, mate. That's what it is.
Depressions.
You know what's an interesting
man.
one with Tottenham? It's interesting. Tottenham's owners are like the opposite of Kroenke. Man are super invested at every game, but don't want to spend no dough.
Yeah.
So go on, what do you reckon? Do you reckon it was the wise decision
bro, come on, man.
to get rid of Ollie? Because you know, obviously he was a massive Ollie out, innit?
I was a massive Ollie out.
And he was Ollie out from the get-go.
From the get-go, I'm like you. I'm like...
But it looks like the shambles has got deeper since he's gone.
Now, you know what it is? The players have been exposed. The manager, for me, has done well in terms of what he's tried to do. Players have been exposed.
Do you reckon Ollie took most of the flack?
To be fair, he did. But the problem is, it's always going to be players.
Borough won.
Yeah, Borough won. Yeah.
1-0 Borough, final whistle.
Yeah. But it will always be players.
Not winning anything again for another year.
Another year, bro. Even they should have stayed in that Europa League Conference League. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's not what it takes. Told me in a big 6. Should have stayed in that Europa League Conference League, mate. You don't have a chance of winning something.
Do you know what? I can see Conte going now.
You know what? I think so as well. Did you not see
they've lost 5 games out of the last 6 or something like that?
Out of the last 6.
And
you know what?
They beat Leeds on the weekend.
They're gonna get a draw. They're gonna get Spurs. They're like a yo-yo team. There's so many yo-yo teams at the minute. It's unbelievable.
And it's crazy because at the moment it seems like Arsenal are going a bit steady. And you know what? Yeah, like I said, bro, I've mentioned it loads of times. I'm not gonna think anything until there's 5 games to go.
Yeah,
and we're still
the Arsenal game. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get tickets to come to Emirates, mate.
Yeah, we'll go together.
Yeah, 100%. We'll go together.
Go together. Be a mad trip out, and then
it's gonna be a madness, mate.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. But you know what, though, I think we're it's better suited to that game at home because of obviously the crowd. I think there is a bit more chemistry within the team. We're just lacking a striker, bro.
You're saying, are you surprised? I'm not.
Yeah, that's Toby.
Yeah.
Oh, Tottenham are just dead food, Tom. What do you think? Do you reckon Thingy's gonna go? Do you reckon he'll go? Because it sounded like he was trying to get the sack in his interview to me.
It's a hard one, man. I mean,
I want to hear what he says tonight. Obviously,
because on one hand, there's no excuse. You can't go out. You can't lose to Middlesbrough in the cup and then come out and say I need players. Like don't matter. You should be managing. If you're really the guy that you're saying you are, you should be managing any club in the Premier League and beating Middlesbrough. No disrespect to Borough because they scalped United in the last round, and obviously these men are on a run, and they look like they might get promotion as well, but. I think that sometimes games like this, unless the club want him out, a game like this, if you're a top manager, should probably humble you to say, I'm not going nowhere. I need to prove that I'm that guy. Because right now, this is it's a bit here and there. Like obviously Arsenal, you wanted him at Arsenal and probably still would have took him at Arsenal. But this isn't necessarily reflective of someone that you can say confidently he's going to come in and win trophies for us. Because look, this was
I say that, but I can confidently say if you would have got Conte in and give him 200 million to spend this summer, we would have seen a team that would be challenging a lot more, or would have comfortably be in the top 4 by now, because he is that guy. And it's not like our team is fully dead. There's players there that a proper manager can come in and get the best out of, like a Nicolas Pepe that came on, who's been sitting on the bench for fucking months, bro, just wasting away. You get me? Coming on, turning the game on the head for the man. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Even that goal that Lacazette scored, bro, was a deflected goal. Like we're lacking someone to just
come on, man.
Bro, it was the keeper.
Yeah, but you still them goals, man. You don't care how it goes in.
No, I know, but what I'm trying to say is it took that minute. What I mean is that's only gonna get you so far, innit?
Oh, you say it's 14
not games left in it.
I know what you were.
January comes in. If you're a top manager or not,
it's not sustainable.
And you got some common sense about yourself. You think, you know what? I can't go for the striking target that I want. Let me get someone at least as cover. You know, Zapata was available for 5 million loan.
Of course.
Do you remember what you done to United, bro?
Yeah, I know.
Are you telling me you're going to play Eddie Nketiah over somebody like that, bro? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Give us some help. Give the fans some confidence.
But you keep loading out players, so Balogun and everyone.
Yeah, but Balogun needs that bit of loanment to get that development, because we've seen him grow. We came on against Brentford in the first game of the season. He wasn't fully there, you get me? So he needs that step up But why can't we? We're going to need 2 strikers anyway, Saeed. You get me? Aubameyang's gone and Nketiah's going to go. Lacazette's gone. That's 3 strikers gone.
Yeah,
we need 2 anyway. It doesn't matter even if you bring in another 3. Obviously, but I'm hearing Martinelli might get pushed up front. But
he can't do it.
We've not seen that just yet.
No, he won't do it up front.
Newcastle, people. Talk to me. Look
Eddie
at this.
Howe, man.
Like I said, Tom Money talk bullshit.
Eddie, like you say though, it's the money, but it is Eddie Howe as well. That's a good manager. That
bro, Eddie Howe comes in
and
Eddie Howe. Bring in the players that he brought in, he'll be getting relegated comfortably.
Do you reckon? It's so hard to say in it with football because this is all ifs and
maybes. He's a good manager, but like players are very underrated. Like see, like Chris Wood and that. Do you know, like my man, he might not get you them goals and that. But what he will give to the team is mad special to that system. You get me? And then Trippier, he's got injured now, but he's been a revelation for them. Do you know what I mean?
Would you say Chris Wood is the white Lacazette? He's just not going to get you goals, but he makes things happen, and he's part of the action.
Like that, fucking now, man. Like, I know he's not the greatest right about now, but yeah, I think he offers a lot more than fucking.
I said the white Lacazette though.
Is that on charge? Give me 2 seconds.
So I think like I said to you with Arsenal, it's about managing expectations, isn't it?
You know what, Saeed? Sorry. I just wanted to say before we get detoured by Arsenal, how have we been talking this long and not spoke about the derby this weekend yet? Was that deliberate from you?
Man.
Deliberate. You didn't want to talk about that.
There's too much Arsenal, man. Do you get me? But I think with Newcastle,
go on.
Touch the derby. I think with Newcastle, I think again, like I said, Eddie Howe's doing a good job. Arsenal, for me, Newcastle. Sorry, I think they've got a good manager. I think he's a proven manager, and for me, he could do it. He could do it as well, and I think he's going to be the first stepping stone. Like you had, was it Pellegrini? Sorry, not Pellegrini, Mancini. He starts off the dominance, and then after that, you go from there. You know what I mean? And that's all it is, man. So, but the derby, bro. Listen, man. I think what it is. You don't know what United's going to come in.
United are jammy. They'll end up with
there you go. United are jammy.
Yeah.
You don't know, man. I would say don't rule out United, man.
Nah, you can't.
I think 3 out of the last 4, I think it is.
Yeah, it's true. You can't. And you know what? I think part of that, because we went for a run where we was just spanking you every season. Like we used to come to Old Trafford. I used to get into my most comfortable clothes before the game, just make sure I was ready for just goals. Do you know what I mean? And then it started to change, and part of that was Ollie. To be fair, he obviously had figured something out, but I think also a part was United started to shift into this zone that City used to be in, where for years you man used to say, we don't care about the derby anyway, man. Like our derby's the Champions League final. And then all of a sudden, when man weren't winning trophies, the derby started to have some importance, and man started to turn up, and the players start to know, yo, if I can get a goal today, if I have a good performance today, that could do wonders for me with the fans. And City have had that for years. When we used to be Macca, but we turn up for that derby and we make sure the players knew, come and perform today and get us a win, and we'll forget about everything else for a while.
Yeah, of course.
2 points off bottom. If you come and get a win at Old Trafford, you'll be in my good graces for a while. After I think now United have moved into that category. They've been stepping up to the plate a bit more for the derby, and certain players are probably realizing, I've had a stinker of a season, but if I can come out, if Pogba comes out and scores a flipping hat-trick in the derby, that'll do wonders for how the United fans are feeling about him.
Bro. Of course, man. Like I said,
I was dreaming that, innit? The guy saying Pogba come and score a hat-trick in the derby,
Listen, for me, I know, man. You get me? But the thing is,
it could happen. He's got the quality. Could happen.
I think for us though, what it's about, we call it a Derby Day Cup. It's just that Derby Day feeling, for us. Because we haven't felt like a title or whatever. But for us, you're probably right. We have downplayed the derby in past years. When City were on the rise and whatnot, and it probably meant more to you than it was. But I feel like I don't know how City feel, but I think it means a lot to us now in terms of just letting them know, we run Manchester. We still on that day on that derby. Maybe we run it because end of the day, I think you've got to separate the two on the derby day and whether United are winning trophies or not. On that derby day, you can't lose a derby. You can't, man. No matter what, you gotta win. You gotta go in there with it.
Got to leave it all out.
You gotta leave it all out. So, like I said, man, it's gonna be a big one.
It's mad hearing United fans sounding like Tottenham fans these days.
Listen, man, Arsenal know better anyway.
Listen, our derbies are mad, bro.
Yeah.
And we're always winning our derbies.
When is that derby now? When they rescheduled it?
I don't know the specific dates. In a few weeks, though. It's not too thingy, but it's mad to get tickets for the derbies.
Yeah, great.
Mad.
Especially that
and
ground.
You're paying mad prices. Well, I've not even been to the new Tottenham ground.
Yeah, I've not been as well.
It's mad, John.
I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate enough to be there for a lot of the big derbies between us over the years. I was there for 6-1. I was there for when we lost 4-3 at Old Trafford. I was there for the Rooney overhead kick at Old Trafford. I was there for the FA Cup semi-final. So for me, it's not lost on me. Don't matter how many trophies we win. If anything, the more trophies we win, the more the winning of just winning games is becoming normalized. I'm still invested in them derby games. It will still ruin my weekend if United win. So that's why sometimes even when derby day comes, I try to think these days, especially when City are doing so well, I try to think, do I even really want to watch it? Because if we lose, I'm going to be in a bad way. Whereas if I just don't watch it and I see we lose, I could probably just wait until the next game when we win again and just try and brush off the feeling. You know, I don't really... And this is a big one to lose for us, because on one hand, for United, this is a tough couple of games you got. And if you were to get 0 points from Tottenham, City, Liverpool, is it Tottenham, City, Liverpool next week? City, Tottenham, Liverpool next week.
Tottenham, Liverpool, yeah.
If you got 0 points from them 9, obviously that would be pretty much the top 4 dead and done. Equally, if you can win that first game against City,
that's what I'm saying. It gives us that belief,
and it'll fuck up our title run. So there is a lot on that. Even if we're not competing for the same things anymore, for City, it's not a good game for us to lose. And for United, it would be a great game to win.
Yeah,
so
true.
I don't know, man.
I think
we've got predictions.
I think United is shit.
I'm gonna go United. United to win. Because I always say win, but like I said, obviously it's a bit different. But I think I'm gonna go with United to win 2-1.
What's yours, Tom?
I'm gonna go City 9. No joke. I'll go with now go on, Prem. You go first. I need a bit more time.
I'll go 1-1. You know, I think City are getting a bit squeaky bum. You know, a few weeks ago, man was full set on saying the league's done. It's City's. It's gone. Now it looks like the conversation we was having last week about is the Champions League looking like it's a priority, and can that have a bit of a pressure coming on? Obviously, as soon as the Champions League starting to get kicked into play, City look like they're getting a bit squeaky bum time now. So it might be one of them pressure games where if United win this game and Liverpool win, they're level on points with them, are they?
Yeah.
So it's a pressure game for City. Is it at Old Trafford?
No, it's
Etihad. Again, even more pressure because of home fans as well. It can work in both ways, isn't it?
I think City will win. You know what? To be honest with you, I think I could easily see any of them predictions coming true. 1-1, it sounds like a solid shout. 2-1 sounds like a good shout. But I think actually the fact that City have underperformed in the last 2 league games probably works in our favor. Like just from the law of averages, like
do you not think it's all going to go out the window though, being a derby?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think that there's potential for that to happen, but I also think that some of those football rhythms of just like top teams only having so many bad games in a row. Do you know what I mean? This is the Pep team and a Pep system. There's only so many games before it's just click again, even if you are having a bad spell and even if derby effect is in play. I think there's certain players that maybe ain't been at the best or ain't been getting the rub of the green that it just has to kick back in because they're of that caliber. It can only go a certain amount of games until they're just in that zone. So I want to say, you know what I think might happen? I think it'll be close. I think either United will go 1-0 up or City will go 1-0 up and it'll go 1-1. And then I think City will end up winning 3-1. I think at the end of the game, we'll just pull away. But I think at some point in the game, it'll be close and United will have the momentum. And then I think City will pull away the last 30 minutes or so.
To be fair, I think that's reasonable as well. It's not like, obviously, I'm just saying it because I just have, like, United, like I said before, the jammy, aren't they? Like all my life growing up, don't matter what stage of fuckery they're going through, they're still a jammy team where sometimes they pull them results out where they shouldn't really be getting them results. And I think with City now, obviously everyone, the favourites to win, obviously you're not hiding that. But I just feel a draw in this game for some reason because I think it's United. Yeah. It's just the way they are. Like they could grind that. It's just in their DNA to get a point or get 3 points when they shouldn't.
DNA, you know, we don't know what our DNA is, mate.
You know what I mean? But I think City are there.
It's within them. You think it's within us to kind of get the win. You're trying to say, yeah.
So who do you want then? Say Ralph Rangnick, you want him to go up in it next season?
Oh, but season I would get Ten Hag, but if I don't want Pochettino anymore. That's the one person I don't want, because for me, I just don't think it's what we need right now. If I'm being honest with you, he looked good 2 years ago, but not anymore. No. That's simple as that.
So you want Ten Hag, and that's
Ten Hag,
it.
and
if he don't come, have you got any other?
I would keep Rangnick for another year until someone comes available.
Serious?
Yeah.
Do you think that he would do you well?
Yeah, honestly, bro. I think he
better than what Ollie done.
Better what Ollie done.
Like Ragnarok.
Just put him at the start of the season. That would be better.
Did you not see that video of Rangnick when them fans asked him about
man.
sign him?
You gotta rate that though, innit?
What, when he laughed and said, "Are you dreaming?
You're dreaming. It's true.
That's mad, that, innit, bro? The guy said sign Declan Rice, Haaland, and who else was it? There was another player, Kunde. And he looked at him, laughed, and said, "Are you dreaming?"
Yeah.
Thinking, Ras, back in the day, you'd never hear a United manager or someone say that, innit? So at least you come out and be honest.
Man. Gotta be real. Gotta be real.
And I think that in a way, that was useful for us to see behind the curtain a bit, because I think as fans, as United fans, as Arsenal fans, as fans of these big clubs, it's hard, no matter how bad things get, it's hard to believe that if we just put the money on the table and show intent that we can't always just go out and get the biggest players because we're United, we're Arsenal. But what that tells me is that the guys that are really in there and that are making them decisions and making them moves know the limitations and know the moves, that the deals that can't get done, not for money or love. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
of course,
as much as it seems to us on the surface, like, what? Come on, let's be realistic. If United come in for Declan Rice, he's not going to go. Big United, West Ham ain't on that level. But in reality, the actual reality behind the curtain, a lot of these deals might just not be on the table. They might have reached out, and Declan Rice's agent might have said, "Are you joking? There's no way I'm coming over there." Do you know what I mean? Same way. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying there are a lot of things that we as fans still in the mode of thinking who United are or Arsenal are. I think, that could easily happen. Conte will go there, Rice will go there, and in reality, behind the curtain, some of these guys like a Rangnick are seeing the difficulty that comes with trying to get players that are good enough to get you to the point where you can then get the players that are good enough to get you to the point where you're the best. You know, if you're the best player in the world right now, United and Arsenal aren't in the conversation, unfortunately. If Mbappe decides he's not going Real Madrid, you're not in the convo.
We know that, I know, but
to get to that point, you've got to be in the combo for the guy below that, and some of those guys below that, you're not in the combo. So that's where it becomes.
What happens sometimes. I know you don't always want a player to come for money in it, because I want a player to come that plays for the badge, that's passionate, hungry, whatever. However, certain aspects now, so say, for example, we've got a young core at the moment that looks decent, If you go in, like I said, you put all your eggs, you try your best to go in and get a Lewandowski or somebody like that, and you offer him mad wages, forgetting you took Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's wages off the fucking bill, you get me? And you put someone there that you know is guaranteed gonna hammer you them goals in, you get me? And then you go in and you get an absolute bad man midfielder, you get me? And then you get a bad man centre back, you get me? That's experienced. So then you've got good options then coming off the bench, a Ben White coming off the bench. You got you got Partey, you got then say, for example, you go in and you get like a Frank Kessie or somebody like that. You get me? He's a solid player, has been around in Europe. Young, he's not even that old, but he's a very experienced player with the amount of game time he's had. Like, if you see his numbers, he's played mad amount of games, and he's a number 6. If you spend them in key areas like that and actually go and do it, you're telling me the team's not going to benefit. It's about also making smart decisions. I'm not saying go out there and buy everybody or everyone's going to want to come to you, but there is going to be some players that will look at the situation, look at their career, think, you know what, I could do with a change and a challenge. And Premier League, bro, it's a massive pull. Forget even if Brighton's pulling players into the league. True. Christian Eriksen has gone to Brentford, bro. I would have told you that 3 years ago. Man would have laughed.
That's true. No, but you got to remember that.
No, I know, but you understand like a name of that stature. Brentford's still a draw. Premier League, no matter what, is a draw for these, man. So you can put that on the table for him. You got to work a little bit smarter. Look, I'm not saying Arteta's done everything wrong. Certain things that he's put into the club, like the discipline, has been okay. The only thing I think he needs to do better with it is treat everyone equal on the same page, give everyone the same punishment, treat everybody exactly the same. That's something that obviously he's inexperienced. That's going to come with time. This is a game where it comes back down to am I putting my eggs in the basket, believing in this guy, thinking in the next 3-4 years he's going to win us a title, when I really truly don't believe it? Because we've been, do you know what I mean, sold dreams for years, even under Wenger when he was on a decline. So it's all on a mad thing, people. But obviously, I don't want to end the stream off on Arsenal on a mad one again. So I just want to just say to you people, if you're obviously watching this stream now, obviously it's being pre-recorded.
Like the video, man.
It's being pre-recorded as well. So normally it is a live stream. So normally we do interact with, you know, the people in the chat and stuff. So obviously that'll be back next week as well. But people, like the video, make sure you comment and subscribe. Go check Tom out. And also everyone, you know, Saeed and that. But big up people. Peace out.